everybody. Welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music. We're going to discuss what we think about different albums, what we're listening to. Right now we're going through the staff pick top 100 on consequenceofsound.net. We're also going to be talking about some of our favorite albums and those suggested by listeners. Fair warning, we use adult language and say offensive things sometimes, so there's a warning for that. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
Okay, so let me talk to you about how much of a colossal fuck-up I am. Spoilers, everything's fine.
You're a colossal fuck-up?
Yeah, okay, spoilers, everything's fine, so there's nothing to, like, freak out about. But
okay.
I was editing the episode that I put out yesterday, the College Dropout. I was editing that episode on Friday night.
Uh-huh.
And I started pretty late. I don't know, it was probably like 11-ish. And I'd been drinking for a little while. And so I'm going through this episode. I'm editing everything down. It takes me, I don't know, a little over an hour or so. Because I've finally gotten the editing stuff down where I can do it a lot quicker. But it still takes me, an hour or two to get through it. So after that, I'm like, all right. I got to a point where I thought was a good stopping point before adding in like intro music and anything else like that. And I was like, all right, so I got to a stopping point. I finished. I saved my work. And I was like, I'm going to clean up this folder a little bit because I'm running it on my main system drive, and that's, it's not a very big drive. Especially if you're holding such large media files, which these are decent size when they're project files on Audacity. Anyway, so I start cleaning up this folder and moving stuff to my long-term storage drive, and I go to delete a bunch of stuff that I moved over to my long-term drive, and I hit the delete button. It says files are too big for recycling bin. It's, you're going to permanent delete these files. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck up. And so I delete all these files, and I'm going through and I'm trying to reorganize stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, where the fuck is the Led Zeppelin episode? Where the fuck is the Talking Heads episode? Like, where are these files? Well, I fucking deleted them. I fucking deleted these project files in a way that's not recoverable. And
oh, no.
I was freaked, so I freak out a little bit, start doing a bunch of Googling on how I could possibly restore these files, find a few software solutions, but then I start reading through like some tech articles about how to do this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, you can recover these files if they're on disk drives. Well, fuck, I'm on an SSD, which means that they're gone. You have to like take your drive and send it to a specialist company to get that shit back. And I'm like, oh fuck, like that's, I mean, those services are expensive, like, fuck. So,
yeah.
I'm freaking out for a while. I'm like, god damn it, we're gonna have to re-record these 2 episodes, and I really don't want to do that. I mean, I love talking to you, but we've already talked about this, like, man, I was freaking the fuck out.
You're making me real nervous right now.
Yeah, so, luckily, I am a nerd, and I like computers a lot, and in my long-term storage drive, I have Windows set an automatic backup that's supposed to run every day. And
thank God.
The most recent backup was the most recent backup that had done automatically, because it won't do it if your computer's turned off. It won't do it, if you're running a bunch of programs in the forefront. The most recent backup was as soon as we finished recording the most recent episode, and I shut down Audacity and I left my computer running. It did a full backup.
Oh man.
I recovered everything.
Bad.
I recovered those files, and I was like, oh fuck, thank God. Like, this could have been really, 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 really shitty. So we lost nothing. Like I said, spoilers, everything's fine.
Okay.
But yeah. So, yeah.
Honestly, I didn't hear the end of that story. My shit's all fucked up. I've got a shitty connection right now. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
It's okay. I'm not dropping anything. So we still have the files. Was the point to that?
I didn't hear any of the things you said.
Oh, I just deleted our last 2 episodes, and in a way that you can't fix it. But I have automatic backups set up, so we're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. My internet connection's real fucked right now, and I heard you say, and it's unrecoverable, and then you were talking, and I could see you move your head and speak, but I didn't hear the words, and I was like, oh man, we're fucked.
Yeah, no, I fucked up real bad, but I'm a smart nerd, and I have my computer back itself up once a day if possible. If it finds the time, it will do it. And it did. And, oh man,
So nothing's unfuck-upable. We haven't fucked up yet.
It's not quite unfuck-upable, but as long as my backups continue to run, then we're good.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for scaring the shit out of me and dropping the call. And then the call got dropped and I was terrified. It's like, I don't want to talk about the Talking Heads again. I mean, it wasn't a bad album, but god damn it. Like, I didn't have much to say. Except the bass player's amazing. That's about it.
Yeah, so we're okay.
Alright, we got a 5-minute episode. The bass player's good. There's shit been in there, and we're done.
Oh man, I didn't know what we were gonna do if we had lost all of that.
Oh man. I wouldn't mind doing Led Zeppelin again, but man, Talking Heads, I ain't going back.
Yeah.
Ain't no coming back. Oh man. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that happened.
I'm not. It scared the fuck out of me for like 2 hours because it took me a long time to realize that I had set up my automatic backups and that we were good to go. Like, I didn't know I did that because I did it when I set my computer up ages ago.
I'm glad my sober brain was good and my drunk brain was stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fun. I'm glad me being sober is awesome to the asshole that I am being drunk.
So
sober Shane, I got you drunk Shane. We're good, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm planning on you getting fucked up and forgetting and doing stupid shit, so I'm gonna make preparations when you are a drunk Shane.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure I did it so that I wouldn't lose, like, pictures and shit, cause when I set that whole thing up, I'm sure it was for the purposes of not losing, like, important documents. And this is important, but we weren't doing this when I set all that up. That was probably years ago. So, thank fucking God. But
sometimes, look, don't get me fucked up. I'm an asshole all the time. And mostly, I'm the biggest asshole to myself.
Right.
But sometimes I'm awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm really awesome to myself.
Yeah, dude. So it was real late, so I was just like, fuck, this is great. So I rewarded myself with one more beer and jerked off and went to bed. It was like
men do.
Right. It's like, man, I really deserve a hand job or something for backing up those files.
Tied that bandana, give yourself a stranger. I'm gonna do it with the left hand, make it feel weird.
I don't deserve full-blown sex because, I still deleted the files in the first place. But sober me being smart and backing shit up, oh yeah, I'm gonna give myself a little something.
A good old-fashioned will work.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's awesome. I was terrified and then...
I tried.
Relieved. Yeah. The audio cut out of you explaining how you saved it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
talking shit.
I was trying not to scare you because I said, don't worry, everything's fine.
Exact, but you did cut off this part, and I was like, he said everything's fine, but god damn it, he's still talking. I can't hear him. Oh my god. Well, that's cool. Friday, I got out of work, and I was sitting on my big pink chair like I do, drinking and smoking, and I was looking through Facebook, and Mega Ran was playing, and I was like, alright, cool, fuck yeah, I like Mega Ran, and he's on Facebook Live, so wherever he was playing, I don't remember where he was playing, but he was playing, I was like, all right, cool, I'll check that out. And I happened to jump in before he got there, and the band before him was named Bear Ghost or Ghost Bear. I think it's Bear Ghost.
Okay.
And so I jump in on the Facebook Live, and I'm listening to this band. I'm like, man, they're fun. Like, I think it was like a 6-piece band, and they had like a horn section. They had like a guitar, drums, keyboard, and stuff like that. So I'm watching them, and I'm listening for about 20 or 30 seconds. I'm like, fuck, I know this song. Because it sounds like a bouncy, like, carnival song.
Okay.
Doom, doom, doom. I'm like, what the fuck, I know this song. And about 30 seconds in, I'm like, holy fuck, they're playing Heffalump and Woozles from Winnie the Pooh. Heffalump and Woozle is very confusing. I was like, oh my god! Like, I died in my chair. I was like, oh my god, get the fuck out of here. And they did a hell of a job. They knocked it out of the park. They were a really cool band, and so I sat down and watched them for about 20 or 30 minutes, and their second to last song was Prince Ali from Aladdin.
All right.
Prince Ali, fabulous, all the above. I was like, what the fuck, they even did? He's got the monkeys. He's got the monkeys. Shit, dude, like, so any band that plays Disney ever is totally on like a golden list for me.
I feel you.
I'm a complete Disney freak. And so they played especially Winnie the Pooh, which is like my number one Disney movie.
Right.
Oh man. They played that. I was like, I am in love with this band right now. So that was cool. That was a cool little thing about music something about music that happened to me this week. Also, apparently Black Alicious came out with an album last year.
Okay.
And they haven't come out with really good hip hop band, and I didn't know that. And I was mowing the lawn this morning. It was about 8:30 in the morning. Started mowing. I was like, you know what? I want to listen to Black Alicious. I haven't heard them in a while. And then I pull them up on Spotify. I was like, holy shit! They have a new album. Where the fuck have I been for a year? And it's pretty good, pretty damn good.
Right on, man.
So if you like hip hop, check out the new Black Alicious album. It's pretty good.
Fucking A.
Anyway. That's about all I got for intro shit.
Okay. Well, this week, we are talking about, the album Either Or by Elliott Smith, right?
Yeah, we're talking about Elliott Smith. God damn it. Yeah, god damn it. So, I was introduced to Elliott Smith through a couple of friends of mine. Okay. And, this guy, he is very, very talented.
Yeah.
He's very talented, but he's a goddamn junkie.
Oh,
and that's what makes it hard, because junkies make the best music.
Yeah, for the most part.
They really do. And Elliott was addicted to like heroin and alcohol and all kinds of stuff, and he ended up, I've read like 2 autobiographies on him. I have like 3 books just of him, and I have like a picture book and stuff. Anyway, he's just a tortured soul, and he couldn't quite get everything together, and he ended up committing suicide in like 2008 or 2009, and I know there's a problem in America with mental health. Right. There really is. I mean, we have like, all these poor veterans and stuff like that who commit suicide, and and just regular people who deal with like depression and stuff like that who really have a problem with there's a mental health issue in America that we really don't address. Right. But my heart goes out to those people. However, I have no sympathy for somebody who commits suicide. I really don't. Because I've seen Hey, what's up, Bubba?
Mm-hmm. Want a piece of gum?
No, thank you. No, I'm good. Thank you, Bubba.
Cute.
Yeah. Totally fucking derailed me. He's been fucking me around all day. It's crazy. My side, it's nuts. I had to bartend at the lodge, and he wanted to go with me. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be behind the bar working. He's like, I want to go with you. What the fuck? Fuck, where was I? Okay, so yeah, I really don't have any sympathy for those, for people who commit suicide, because I've seen the wake of what happens afterward.
Right.
And it fucks up a lot of people. And suicide's contagious. Like, it really is. And it fucks with people long term. Like, so if you're close to somebody who's done it, like, I know you've had this effect, and it makes you think about doing it yourself. Like, it's fucking contagious. It sucks. It robs people of a lot of emotion and time and effort, and it weighs on them very heavily, because everybody has this thing of like, what could I have done differently? Why didn't they just talk to me? Like, it leaves people with so many questions and no answers, and it damages a lot of people.
For sure.
And I've known 4 or 5 people who've done it, and at every case, it's always everybody's confused, hurt, and really lost.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just, it's a thing. Suicide, I get depression is a big thing and all that, but like, I really don't, I just have no sympathy for people who kill themselves. And that's why Elliott Smith really hurts me, because I know, it's the idea of potential. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has potential.
Right.
Like, everybody has potential for something. And this guy was an amazing artist. Especially since he did this album on a fucking 4-track cassette. Like, he recorded this whole album on a 4-track. That's crazy.
Right.
And, what could have been and all that kind of shit. And it hurts me because this guy really affected me. Like, all of his albums are amazing in it. Like, every time I hear Say Yes, I bawl like a bitch. It moves me that much that I cry. Like, I cry.
Yeah.
And for him to just, off himself, it sucks. It sucks.
For sure.
When it's hard. Anyway, that's my first rant.
Okay.
Anyway, with that being said, what did you think about the album, Bubba? I'd like to know your opinion.
So I don't know. This was a interesting album. It's pretty much all acoustic, mostly slower stuff. Some, but that being said, like I enjoyed listening to this album. There's a few songs on here that I really liked, and some of the stuff was kind of forgettable. But for the most part, I really liked what he had going on with this. I didn't know he did it all on his own on a 4-track. That's pretty standout, like the type of quality he was able to get with that with such low grade equipment is pretty awesome. So yeah, I don't know. This is not going to be like one of my favorite albums of all time or anything, but it's certainly something I would listen to again.
Right on.
This album has, in particular, this album has several fucking songs on it. Like.
I'm sorry, one more time?
This album has several songs that would be good to fuck to. Like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 245, for sure. Say Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, just the style of music too, like the acoustic jams and stuff like that, I feel like are kind of my go-to in the bedroom anyway. So.
Man, you're cutting out again, son of a bitch. Well, we're back now, so we can keep talking. We can go back. I don't know where the fuck I was. Oh, this album. This album, man, as a whole, it's got a really haunting sound to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like, it's really, but that's kind of his style. It's like this, like, he sounds like he should have been in the Beatles if the Beatles were like cryptic. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like
or if the Beatles
were fit in.
Or if the Beatles were like super fucking depressed all the time.
Yeah, yeah. If they were all junkies, yeah, for sure. Like, he would have been the 5th junkie, shitty Beatle.
Yeah, I felt like I heard some like John Lennon inspiration in this.
Oh, for sure.
With some of the style, with some of the way the songs are written, and just the kind of pacing and all that stuff. I felt like that was probably a huge influence on him.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I feel like I hear the Beatles a bunch.
Yeah.
In fact, he does a cover of Because by the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
Because the world he does and it's just him. It's really, really good. I think it was on, I can't remember the movie. There was some movie where he and Fiona Apple both covered a Beatles song, but I can't remember what album or what movie or album it was. But I know they were both on, I think, I'd have to look it up. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know, he and her were both did Beatles covers for some movie on, I think, maybe American Beauty or something like that.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. But they both did a Beatles song, and they were both amazing. Like, he does Because, and it's just him doing 4 different falsettos in a round. Like, he does a really good job.
Right on.
Also, he did there was a book, like a coffee table book about him that was all the on the cover of this album, on the cover of XO and Figure 8, of just him doing different pictures for doing the cover album art.
Oh, okay.
It came with a CD of him doing live stuff, and he did he did a cover of All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down.
Oh, okay.
All my rowdy friends have settled down. I think it's a Hank Dew song.
I don't know, but I know the song you're talking about.
Yeah, he did it, but it was all in his voice. All my rowdy friends have settled down. It was really funny. But anyway, my second rant's gonna be, I don't think this is his best album.
Okay.
It's good, but I think the reason they put it on here on this list was because it was only done on a 4-track, and it's pretty good. But I feel like his best album is his next one called XO, which is really, really good.
Okay.
I think it's a lot better.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Elliott Smith, so I don't really have a leg to stand on here. I've never heard that album. But it's staff pick, so whoever the staff member was that liked Elliott Smith is probably their favorite album,
Yeah, and I get that. And I want to say on XO, he has a song that's in the movie. What's that Matt Damon movie where he won the Academy Award for? Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they wrote, what was that damn movie?
Dogma?
With Robin Williams. Huh?
Dogma?
No, not Dogma. I mean, for sure. That's a great movie.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of
Brilliant Mind or... Huh?
Oh, I was thinking Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Good Will Hunting. Yeah, he's got 2 or 3 songs on that album, in that movie.
Oh, okay. I
think Say Yes was one of them, and I think Oh Well Okay, which is, God, another song that if I hear it, I'm gonna cry like I will just break down and cry and bawl. Which this guy and Jeff Buckley, I feel like if I hear a certain song from them, they make me cry out of nowhere. I will just be chilling, having a good time, and I hear one song from one of their songs, and I just break down and cry. But I'm a crier.
Yeah,
I'm a big old crier.
I think we've established that.
I cry. I've cried during commercials.
Fucking Sarah McLachlan again. God damn it, Shane's crying again.
I break down pretty easily, but actually, the last song on this album will make me cry like a little girl.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Gooskin knees.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Anyway, okay, so you ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's do this shit.
Okay, so number 1 is Speed Trials. What'd you think?
So this song is, I don't know, I don't know, I like to listen to these albums doing cleaning up around the house or driving or fucking doing mundane shit, so I don't get the lyrics a lot, so I'll pull them up, but, this is a good one. I listened to it a lot because it's the first one on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And, not my favorite, but it's a good song. It's probably up there, and it's probably I don't know, probably top 5. But on this album for me, but just because it's I'm familiar with it now.
What I like about this song is that he has this, like, again, I think this is one of the most haunting songs. I think it's the most haunting song. Like, he has this, like, slow, breathy voice during this song, and it's really, like, awkwardly haunting.
Yeah.
And I want to say he does all of the music. I think he does the drums, the vocals, the guitar. I think he does everything. And that's why it's on a 4-track, because I think he recorded the drum part, the guitar part, the keyboard, the piano part. Like, I think he does everything.
Right.
And I think he mixed it himself and all that kind of stuff. But this song, man, it sets the tone for, I think this is the song that kind of sets up what Elliot's about.
Yeah, I'd give you that.
Like, this is a very good introduction to who he is and what kind of music he does.
Yeah, I think that's a good synopsis. It does give you an idea of what's to come on this album. Like this is like, he's setting the tone, and he's like, this is where we're going to be. This is what you can expect. Like, let's get into it. So yeah.
For sure. This song, I mean, the words and all that, all the lyrics and stuff, I felt like it was about the song's called Speed Trials, and he's like, I feel like I'm running speed trials while I'm standing in place.
Yeah.
I feel like what he's trying to say in this song is, he's trying to talk about, like, the frailty of life and how death is just around the corner at all times. And
okay.
Speed. I think what he's trying to say is life is really hectic, and it kind of just goes by. Like, you feel like you're frantic all the time in life. And, I don't know, just the perils of just living. Like, how it feels like you're always struggling.
Right.
And, like, I'm running speed trials while standing in place. And I don't know. That's what my interpretation was, is that, it's just shit, man. Death's all around us, and it's kind of bleak.
Yeah.
Life sucks, and death's right next to you. Even when you're fucking young and running around and trying to get shit done, death's always there.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. Anyway, okay, you want to move on to Alameda?
Sure.
Number 2 is Alameda.
Yeah. This was another one that I thought was pretty good. This was one of those songs that I like, kind of, got into a little. Like, he's talking about, like, this Alameda, like this, it's like the fucking street he grew up on or something. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed, you walk down Alameda is like the first words of, like, every verse. So I'm guessing, like, that's a street he grew up on, or maybe that's where something like shit that used to haunt him, and I don't know if bad shit happened there or not, because, like, he does talk about I don't remember exactly, but like it's not exactly a happy song either. So, like, I don't know if he used to get bullied growing up or what, but how are you on this song?
Alameda, it really is, kind of what you said. It's, I feel like what he's saying in this song is that he is trying to, I think he's, like, letting bad people into his world.
Yeah.
And because of that, he distrusts others, and okay. I feel like he's let a lot of bad people into his life, and now he distrusts others, so now he can't, like, really accept other people, and so he pushes them away, which is why I think the line is, nobody broke your heart, you broke your own because you can't finish what you start.
Yeah.
That's him justifying pushing people away.
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
Because he's been burned by other people before, and so now he doesn't let people into his life, so now it's him justifying why he doesn't let anybody else into his life.
Yeah.
Because he's been burned so many times now, he's so skittish to make connections with other humans.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe, like, you know, he grew up getting bullied or, like, what, but yeah, it totally comes off as like pushing people away kind of song, so.
Yeah. Oh no, he totally did. Yeah, he was very much, I think he kind of grew up in a broken home, kind of like Stevie Ray Vaughan. He kind of grew up in like a broken home kind of thing, and I think he moved back between, I want to say Texas and Wisconsin.
I don't know.
I think that's right. That he just kind of moved back and forth between parents, and like he was kind of a meeker person, obviously from his music. He wasn't a very tough kid, and I think his dad was really like, a football coach or something, and he was really upset or disappointed because he didn't like give a shit about sports or whatever. And I think his mom was on drugs or something like that. So he had kind of a hard life growing up. Yeah.
I kind of got that from this one too.
And I want to say that's right. From what I remember reading, he did have a hard life, and then like he left. I think he left home at like 17 or something like that, and like moved out on his own because he just wanted to get away from all the crazy stuff in his childhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feeds into the whole thing I was talking about earlier about the whole mental health thing.
Right, for sure.
He definitely did have mental health problems that I think instead of seeking true help, he self-medicated through like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, and that really just messed him up.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common denominator with mental health problems, especially in our society, because we don't really go out of our way to treat it in current society, at least in this like country, anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I feel like we're more of a repress it until, I think he even has a song called Bottle Up and Explode on XO, where you just bottle up your feelings until you explode.
Yeah.
Some kind of way, which is sad but true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Alameda's a good song. It's real slow paced, really dreary, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, okay, moving on to...
So real quick, I'm drinking this beer, and I've got to say this is, I don't know if I've had anything else from this brewery or not, but this has got to be the laziest brewery when it comes to naming their beers. It's literally called Kolsch Style Ale.
Kolsch.
That's the name of this beer. Kolsch Style Ale. That's it. That's where they left it.
You want a beer? Here's that.
Yeah. It's like,
we're not good with the thinking and stuff. Like, we make good beer.
It's either really lazy or really brilliant, because if you walk into like a bar and you're just like, oh man, I don't know what I want. Just, I like Kolsch's. So just give me a Kolsch. And they're like, oh, well, we have that. And they just hand you this. Okay. So.
Okay.
The next one is Ballad of Big Nothing.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's about a song about a fucking junkie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah. Just kind of doing that whole fucking don't be helpless, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but you
can do what you want to whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just don't give a fuck, and that kind of thing. But yeah, it talks about candy a couple of times, and that's the obvious reference to the drugs. So yeah, it has a interesting melody, interesting rhythm. Like, it's kind of catchy. The chorus, you can do what you want to whenever you want to. Catchy. Yeah.
I do like his slide work. When he's like the doom 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 doom, like it's catchy. It's a really catchy song, but the words are so dismal. Like, but that's Elliot. Everything's gonna be bleak and terrible.
Yeah. I mean, all of these songs are kind of like sad sack kind of things. So I feel like that's it's it's kind of a depressing album, but you know, he's good with his poetry and he's good with his music. So, and this song kind of showcases the music side of it.
Yeah. And then we move on to Between the Bars, which is a fun song because I like the idea of this is about an alcoholic, but it's like the booze is talking to the person, which is a fun idea.
Okay. I gotta be honest. This one, I have a hard time remembering this one. This one's kind of, this one didn't stick with me. I remember the song, but this isn't one that stuck with me. So I'm gonna let you.
It's a really good like ballad, like the doom dum drink up baby, stay up all night. I like everything about it, and I like his idea of taking like the disease talking to the person.
Okay.
And like I'll make them go away, or what is it? What's the people you've been before that you don't want around anymore? They push and shove and bend to your will, but I'll keep them still.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like all like this escapism through alcoholism. Okay. And it's like I don't know. I like the idea. I really like the concept of this song because it is talking about. I mean, it's about an alcoholic.
Right.
I'll kiss you again, bars. But it's fun from like, it's a fun idea from the other perspective. It's not the person's perspective, but like, it's giving the drug a voice.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that because I mean, looking at the lyrics and yeah, you're right. It's definitely the alcoholism talking to the person like, hey, come on, I'll help you with this. You need this.
I'll kiss you again between the bars. Push and shove. I'll make them go away. Like all the things in your life that are terrible, I'll make it go away. Just come over here. You know, that's goddamn again a sad fucking idea, a sad song, but very cleverly written.
Right.
Which
I'd agree with that.
One of the better songs on this album. And then
yeah, I'd agree with that. Again, this one just didn't stick with me the way some of the other ones did. Just I don't know why, but
it's one of his more famous songs, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I think just because it is the way he wrote it, like the idea of the song itself.
Yeah, reading through the lyrics, it's super relatable for anybody that's gone through anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really liked it. I think it's probably my number 3 song on this album.
Okay.
Number 4, for sure. 3 or 4. I think Speed Trial, no. It's number 4. But it's a good one. It's a really good one. There was a thing, never mind. I can't remember the artist, I can't remember any of it. Never mind. Okay. Moving on to Pictures of Me.
Yeah. Okay. Pictures of Me. This one did stick with me. I really like this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just stuck in my head, and I don't know. I guess I don't know exactly what it's about, but it feels like this one was just like maybe he felt like he was being put on display, or like he couldn't get away from people trying to get to him, or like or maybe like
I've my thought is I feel like it's a song about the angst against fame.
Yeah. That's a way more eloquent way of putting what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I feel like because he says something. Everybody's dying just to get the disease.
Right.
And it's about fame itself, and like kind of like again another fucking junkie like Kurt Cobain. Like he didn't want to be famous, you know what I mean? Like he kind of resented being famous, and he thought it was. And I think that comes back in another song later, but just the whole idea about just the idea that I'm sick of seeing all these pictures of me.
Yeah,
just You know what I mean? Like it's. I feel like he's just against fame itself.
Yeah, I liked the line "Saw you and me" on the coin op TV. Frozen in fear every time we appear. Like that line kind of just like dug its way in, and I just thought it was catchy, or it caught my attention, and so I liked that. I like this song. Yeah, I like the way it's written.
The song's really pretty. It's like it's got a good beat. It's like do 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 do. It's kind of like a doo-wop-y song, it's kind of a poppy song.
Yeah,
with like an angry message behind it, which is fun.
Yeah. So this was one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't stand the next 4 songs. This one and the next 3, I can't stand them. I think they're blah.
Okay.
But
the next one is No Name Number 5. Kind of a throwaway for me. It didn't stick with me at all. Like I must have listened to this song. Like there was probably a few times I put this album on and started on No Name Number 5 because I just could not get myself to remember anything about this one or the next. Well, like you said, the next couple, like Rose Parade and Punch and Judy also, I had a hard time remembering those songs.
They're kind of blasé. Well, No Name Number 5,
they kind of blended.
Reminds me of like Nico and the Velvet Underground. Like it sounds like kind of their kind of style.
Okay. These
like blum, 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 blum. It sounds like a junkie. Like people that shoot up to heroin listen to this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. These next couple kind of blended together for me. Just because I just could not fucking remember these things. Like Pictures of Me.
Number 5. It was
stuck me, and then
the sad stack fucking person and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
And then moving on to Rose Parade, it's all about. It's a really happy, fun song, but I think he was doing it. I think he wrote this song to be hyperbolic because it's all about like fake people.
Okay.
Like, two-faced people.
That makes
that's
sense.
why he's like he's happy. Why don't you follow me down to the Rose Parade? But it's all about two-faced people, really.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, I do remember a little bit about this song. This kind of seemed, this one actually kind of seemed a little bit Lennon-esque to me, or at least it felt very influenced by John Lennon. But
oh, for sure.
But it wasn't something that really stuck with me.
Yeah,
like it's one of those I just kind of vaguely remember, and that, I mean, that makes sense. I've listened to this album probably about 10 times, but all in the last like 3 or 4 days since we recorded our last episode. So
yeah.
Anyway.
No, I mean, yeah, like I said, Pictures of Me, No Name Number 5, Rose Parade, and then this one, Punch and Judy. I've got no notes on it. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, I don't know
it's like a slow waltz that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lyrics. I'm looking at the lyrics, and I don't remember this song.
The wallflowers done from Punch and Judy.
So, I mean, I remember hearing it, but this isn't one that stuck with me either.
Yeah, it's pretty forgettable for me, too.
Okay, so the next one is Angeles.
Angeles. Like Los Angeles.
Yeah, or Los Angeles.
Aren't you in the north now? What the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
This one honestly didn't really stick with me all that much either.
It's not bad. I like the finger picking. It's
okay.
Heavy finger picking.
Yeah, I do like that. I did like that. I don't really remember the lyrics. I do remember the I've seen your picture on $100 bill. That one did stick on me. But this one didn't seriously hit me or anything like that.
Yeah, I think what happened was I think he wrote this song once he moved to Los Angeles, to try to make it big, and he's commenting on the hypocrisy of LA and just the idea of he's throwing all his dice on the table.
Okay,
look, I'm going out here to try to make it big, and people are going to try to scam me, all that kind of stuff. I'm throwing put my dick on the table and see what happens.
Yeah, okay.
And just that whole, I think just the idea of throwing the dice on a new move and on something different, like some things in life where you take a chance and see what happens and try to make it work and to be successful for yourself and try to make a life for yourself in some kind of way. And I think it's that hesitation of, I don't know what to expect or what to do, but I'm gonna go with it and see what happens.
Right on.
That's the whole idea.
Okay, yeah,
but it's a beautifully written song. Like like I said, the whole finger picking stuff. It's a very pretty song, and all of his songs are gorgeously written.
Yeah, I think he does. Good. Yeah, I think he does a really good job with that. He's very good with melody and rhythm, and and the way he keys his songs. So like the chord structures he picks and the keys that he puts them in are pretty interesting throughout, and I think he does a good job with a lot of these songs are pretty down in the dumps, and the music isn't all just minors and stuff. But I think he does, where with a couple of these songs he plays hyperbole with the lyrics, I think he does the same thing with the music on a few of these songs as well. So that's why you have that kind of uppy tone on some of these songs, like rhythmically. But anyway, so I think he did a good job. Fuck. Okay. Cupid's Trick. This is another one that just did not stick with me. Until we get to 245, these songs didn't really super stick with me. I remember this one a little bit better than some of the last couple. I
have one word written down on Cupid's Trick, and that's heroin.
Okay.
I think this song is just about heroin, and I think what it is it's Cupid's Trick. It makes you feel in love with the drug, and that's the whole trick part, is that you're in love with an idea of an emotion or a feeling and not an actual physical thing.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's all I got. That's all. I literally wrote down one word, and it's heroin.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay. Then we got 245.
What do you think?
You dropped out this time. I didn't hear the last sentence you said.
And I dropped out this time. Okay. 245, totally about somebody this is his song that's crying out for help. He's a fucking druggie who's crying out for help. He's like self-reflecting. It's 2:45 in the morning. I'm putting myself on warning. I've got to quit this shit. I need help. Yeah,
man. Okay, so this one I liked I liked the verse about I liked this song a lot. I really liked the comments he makes about beating us into one, but I'm gonna split us back into two. I thought that was fucking legit as fuck. The way he did that was awesome. The lyrics in this one I did really, really like. What about you?
Love it. This song, I think it's probably the second, outside of Say Yes, the next song, it's the best song, it's the second best song on the album. The melody's fun. It's a simple doom, 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 doom. The R part is just so simple, but really good. And he's his voice, and when the drums kick in, the da 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 doom, it really hammers in the when he's making his point, the drums hammer in that message that he's trying to get across, which is really good in the third verse or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just well played, really well paced song. Sad as all can be, because I feel like this is his cry for help.
Yeah, I could see that. This was totally this was up there for me, for sure. I like this a lot. I liked the next song too quite a bit.
I think the last song, Say Yes, is the best song on the album.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you on that. So Say Yes is the last song on the album, and man, it's a good one. The opening line on this one is just fucking great.
Yeah, because I think what he's trying to say in this song is I think he's like getting over a relationship.
Yeah, I think so.
He's in that like vulnerable spot where he's like met someone new and he doesn't like when you get through a relationship and then somebody like a potential somebody to have a long-term relationship with, like you're kind of insecure at that point.
Yeah.
You like want it to happen. I think like it's that turmoil of like, please say yes. Like what does he say? I'm in love with the girl through the eyes of the world.
Yeah.
Who stayed around the morning after. And that's like him like. Yeah,
that whole the still around the morning after is fucking, it's powerful because it's just like, when you hit that point where it's like, all right, we're done with the hooking up at night and going home and fucking doing all this. Like we're sticking around and like,
yeah,
through all the fucked up shit.
One night stand. She's now staying the night.
Right. And I think that's powerful, but it's there's some metaphor here, but I
think this is the only song of all of his songs on this album that has like hope.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it shine on this album.
Well, and he also has a couple of lines about himself being around the morning after, and it's kind of like it's slightly inward looking.
This like understood thing that like we're gonna both try to do this.
Well, I also think it's kind of like inward looking on himself a little bit too. So like I have to learn how to love, but that's going to take loving myself as well, you know?
Yeah.
Cause he does talk about like, shit being fucked up and turning around. All right. So let's say yes. We're having such bad problems with Skype that we're going to kind of wrap it up.
Yeah. Overall, it's a good album. I love Elliott Smith. He makes me want to die inside, but also is a really good artist, and I can't stop listening to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Say Yes is totally the best song on this album. For sure.
Yeah, that and 245, and I know you didn't care for it, but I really liked Pictures of Me.
Speed Trials.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. I think EXO's a better album.
Okay.
If you like Smith, EXO, check that one out because I think it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I got nothing else.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to Sad Panda Presents. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher, and at sadpandapresents.com. You can also find us at Facebook, facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Hit us up if you want us to review an album. Reach out to us on Facebook. That's probably the best place to get a hold of us. If you've made a suggestion and we haven't seen it, hit us up again. Well, next time we'll be talking about Beck, Midnight Vultures. Shane loves you. We will see you again next time. Thanks for listening again.
Beck, Midnight Vultures. Yes, we will talk about that, which is a really good album, which I really loved.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Paul Pegg, I hope you're still listening. Love you, bub. Anyway, with that, I'm done.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. I heard this one comedian. We were in San Antonio, and he was talking about whiskey dick. He goes, you ever get to like the reverse of the whiskey dick, where like you can get it up and fuck like a porn star for like 5 hours and never come? I call that beer cock.
Yeah, I feel like that's like right on the cusp of whiskey dick, where it's like,
man, it's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Cause you can get to that point and you're good to go, but if you have one drink past that point, you can't get it up anymore. Like,
you are fucking, you can't, there's no fucking coming back.